To that point of skills, do you think it's also then important to be able to talk about, you know, here's when you go into an interview, these are the skills I have, and that way it
Yes.
becomes part of your story like that?
Yes. You need to give people an elevator speech on what you're good at. It's funny. I have a friend who just left their company. They were asking me to help them with their resume. And I called them and I said, I actually can't tell what you're good at and what you want to do by your resume. And you're really talented. And I know you have to have your elevator speech on these are my skills. This is my superpower. I use that word a lot because I think everybody has a superpower. You just have to figure out what it is. And sometimes you have to lay it out for people that this is what I'm good at.
Yeah, and I think one thing that you've said in the past, I think it was actually on the I forget which podcast it was. It was kind of like I think it was like the Getting Hired podcast, but you talked about in the both in and right there and even in the interview talking about what you want as a professional. So I thought that was actually very interesting of, not being scared to say, these are the things, even if it's in the context, it was talking more about salary, but I think it's even about like opportunity or
Totally.
growth or skills that you want to
Yep.
build. And I thought that was just a really cool framing of it shows a lot more interest to an employer of like, hey, I'm already thinking about, how can I contribute or what can I do to develop at your firm? But then also, I think that same applies when you're actually at the job, right? Of being able to
Yes.
talk to someone and your manager. And so I think a lot of students would kind of always wonder, they have that fear of sounding, I guess, a little too haughty, or coming
Mhm.
across as entitled. Have you found there's a way to strike a good balance of that?
There is. Yeah, there is. I mean, I think, as an employer, I'm not hiring somebody for the job I have open. I'm hiring them for the next three jobs, right? And for somebody coming out of school, I'm looking at skills they have that we need. We have capability gap. Every company has capability gaps, right? You have maybe strong talent in R&D, maybe you don't have strong talent in finance, maybe you need more data and analytics. So I think telling an employer, hey, I'm applying for this role, but would love to understand, how do you develop people when they're here? Because there's a lot I want to learn. I want to keep growing. And I want to understand, what that looks like here versus saying, I want to be a VP someday. I wouldn't put it more about the title. I would put it more about, hey, I want to learn, grow, develop. I want to contribute more, and what sort of ways do you what support do you have for people to do that, and what sort of ways do you do that?
One of them that I thought was really powerful was this idea of networking, and we're a big proponent of that. And I thought, again, it was a different interview, but I thought it went really well with this. So first of all, that you had, I think it was 5 out of your 6 jobs have come through your network. So I think that's, again, highlights how important it is. But secondarily, you have a little twist on the phrase, which is everyone always says it's about who you know. But I thought it was really cool. You said it's about who knows you. And I
Yeah.
thought that was just a very important distinction.
Yep. Yeah, I think again, you have to like people and you have to put yourself out there, but I think putting yourself out there and letting people know what you're interested in, and then helping people for no reason. I mean, I make time for networking pretty much every week. I'll either talk to people that are looking for jobs, I'll talk to other heads of HR. I talk to other people in the industry, and I think if you can be helpful to someone, the universe has a way of paying itself back. But you also want people to know what you're all about, and I think spending time with people helps with that a lot. But I think part of the reason why I've had people mentor me and I've had the jobs that I've had is I put myself out there and I developed a personal connection with somebody.
I guess to close us out, is there one thing that you'd recommend a student over indexes on while in college?
Self awareness. Get to know yourself, get to know what you're good at, get to know what you love to do. Be open to feedback. It's a lifelong skill, and you'll have a really successful career.